Welcome back to the Retro Sports Gamer channel. This is Green Magic. Today we've got a special recording, a playoff series in the Tecmo NBA Online League between DPS's 76ers and Randy's Heat. Heat have the 1 seed, Sixers the 2nd seed. They're meeting in the second round. DPS had a 7-4 record. Randy with an 11-0. Randy always goes undefeated in the regular season, but we'll see how far he can get in the playoffs. Shout out to Randy though for allowing me to use this stream that he recorded on his Twitch originally, and also shout out to him for doing some excellent stat tracking. Um, All the player stats and the team stats are recorded on a spreadsheet online. They're accessible, and I've got some of those in front of me. I wanted to see how these teams looked going into the playoffs. So for the regular season, the 76ers averaged 72.5 points a game, which was ranked 17th in the league, and the Heat were third overall with 89.5. We flip it over to defense. The 76ers were actually first with giving up 62.6 points a game, and the Heat were fifth with 72.5. Some other statistics, we've got 3-point shooting percentage. 76ers were ninth at 39%, but DPS's other team, the Trailblazers, were third, actually, and the Heat were 13th with 32% shooting, and actually the Suns were last with about a 10% shooting. The Suns are Randy's other team. We are going to the tip-off, and looks like the 76ers win the toss. They'll be in the red, and the Heat will be in the white jerseys. And we've got David Benoit playing for the Sixers. He was DPS's first draft pick. We've got the Heat moving it around. Steve Smith into the key for 2 points. Tied at 2-2. And we've got Reggie Lewis responds. Before we get too far into it, I want to disclose that I know this is a best of 3 series, and I know that it goes to 3 games. So I don't know who wins the first, but whoever wins the first will lose the second, and we will go into game 3. And I will be just as surprised as you guys as far as who wins. Randy is the favorite, but DPS has been playing very good. And as you can see, he's going toe-to-toe already with Randy. Mike Brown to David Benoit. Kicks it around from the box. Takes a 2-point lead. Ronnie Cycli with the dunk. Looked like it was a little bit far out there. Oh, we got a bad pass. We've got a turnover. Turnovers were another statistic I looked at. Philadelphia actually ranked really good with a 1.7 turnovers per game, which was 5th. And the Heat were 14th with 3.1 turnovers per game. So we've got the Sixers, who got Hawkins and Dawkins. DPS was fortunate to hold both of those guards from his roster. The way that it works is for season 2, this was season 2, was that everyone started with their default rosters, but players were stolen in 2 rounds of draft picks. And then if you had more than 2 players stolen, you were given compensation draft picks. So we weren't quite sure who would be stolen. Obviously, you have a superstar like Charles Barkley, who was the Sixers' best player, second best player in the game probably. He was stolen by Randy to play on the Heat. and so DPS was given whoever the Heat's power forward was, but he was able to steal Reggie Lewis. Looks like later in the round, so he did end up with a decent power forward. And we got Ronnie Cycli, who is the Heat's center, puts it in for two. We got Lewis working around Hawkins from the top. Curse splash. Hawkins is good for three. And like I was saying earlier, the 76ers are decent at 3-point shooting. And honestly, I'm going to assume that DPS's 3-point rating improved as the season went on. It takes a little getting used to. It's not just like other games, maybe where you have a good shooter who can just pull up and rail. Sometimes it helps if you're doing a design play, or especially if you get a good shot from the top of the 3-point line, as in the north side, not the top of the key, but the top of the screen. And we got a tight one here with the first quarter winding down. Last second shot is no good. Great first quarter. Heat up by one. Sixers. DPS working that baseline, which is... Oh, I'm sorry. That was the Heat, Tim Hardaway. So Randy working the baseline. Looking for a man. David Benoit, low post. Oh, actually, to Johnny Dawkins, gets it. Barkley extremely fast on the fast break. Heat up by three. Hawkins looking for a man. Mike Brown, low post to Dawkins. David Benoit is as I said, he's a very good player. Hawkins, another three, ties it up for the Sixers. Excellent shooting outside. It looks like it could have been blocked, but it's not. Barkley gets it in. David Benoit, as I was saying, for some reason given extremely good attributes in this game. Not to say he was a bad player in real life, but on the Jazz, he's given a better rating than Karl Malone, which is very surprising. Perennial all-star player. And then put on top of that, David Benoit, because he is a bench player, you don't have to give up a starter to access him. You give the other team basically a backup, which is what DPS did. So great pick by him, and Benoit doing the Lord's work as he scored a second ago. Steve Smith answers. Hawkins to Reggie Lewis. DPS with a 3-point lead. The give and go to Barkley. That's 2 points. David Benoit using that speed, but he is cut off by a Heat defender. Benoit looking for the open Hawkins. There he is. Curse splash. Hersey Hawkins. And I looked back to the game that I played DPS. I was the Milwaukee Bucks. I only got one win. I did have 38 points with Michael Jordan. He was my number one draft pick, as you'd expect. Hersey Hawkins misses that one. In that game versus DPS, Michael Jordan went 19 for 24. He had 38 points, but I wasn't really able to spread the ball around. My next top scorer was Fred Roberts with just 6 points. And DPS was able to spread the ball around a lot. And what stuck out to me was he did very good on 3-point shooting. He was 6 for 13. Hawkins was 4 for 6. David Benoit 2 for 3. And overall, I was only 1 for 3 on 3-pointers. So DPS very, very competitive when he can get that 3-pointer working, but he also knows how to work it inside as well. Good at passing the ball around. Oh, and we got a turnover. The turnovers are tough. Sometimes they just don't they don't connect on the passes, and we got a turnover right back. No, we don't. It gets knocked out of bounds, not passed out of bounds. We got a few give and goes, but no shots. And there we go. Keith Askins from the top. The Heat take the lead back. Reggie Lewis pops one up. It's a brick. No one wants the rebound. Tim Hardaway pushing the ball up the court. He's got speed. One of the very fast point guards. DPS almost gets the steal, but it goes back to a Heat player. And Randy knocks the ball out of bounds. We got 12 seconds left in the first half. Dawkins, Benoit. Hawkins, Benoit. Dawkins from the low post gets it before the half. We've got a 1-point game going into the half. Heat with lights out shooting, 91%. And the Sixers not quite as good shooting, but extremely good three-point shooting. And that's what's keeping DPS in this. Very competitive first game so far. Both teams playing very efficiently. Sixers do have a couple turnovers, which have hurt them. We'll see if DPS can make any adjustments. We've got Barkley doing some good things. Ronnie Cycli getting involved. Cycli bringing the ball up the court, as you do. Steve Smith, he had a man for the shot, but they're going to work the baseline instead. Just very crisp passes. Shot clock violation. That is one challenging thing. You kind of have to have a mental clock in your mind. Barkley cuts the man off in the low post. And you just kind of got to sense when it's time to pop it. Ooh, Cycli gets the steal, but chucks it up. That'll happen sometimes when you don't realize you have the ball. Hawkins with the lay-in. Ronnie Cycli pushes it up the court, and it's stolen. Reggie Lewis to Dawkins. Lewis gets fouled. Looked like he was about to pass to his buddy up at the top of the screen. Dawkins into Lewis. And we've got the Sixers up by 3 with their biggest lead of the game as far as I know, or at least it ties it. Heat working it around, looking for an open man. The Sixers rotating very well. Has a man in his face, and it's missed. David Benoit up to Dawkins. He's got a clear lane. And we have the Sixers up by 5. Heat with some nice passing, but the Sixers are clogging the baseline, and that is the way that you really have to guard Randy. You have to force him to shoot those outside shots that he doesn't want to do. Benoit up to Hawkins. He's from the spot. Oh, in and out. That would have been crippling for Randy. Oh, good defense by DPS, but Hardaway able to get the little teardrop over him. David Benoit gets it stolen. And here come the Heat. Hardaway to Cycli to Smith. Smith puts it in, and just like that, the Heat have the lead. Let's see what the Sixers do. Are they going to go for the outside shot or the inside? There we go. From the spot, Hersey Hawkins in and out. That's tough. That is tough. Hawkins thought he had it. And there we go from the corner. Tim Hardaway misses it, but Cycli with the rebound. Johnny on the spot. He up by 3. David Benoit, nice little move. Outside, inside. Randy tried to cut off the side angle, and Benoit just took him inside. We got Smith working the baseline again. DPS clogging the middle with Benoit. Just right in there. Oh, we got a hand in the face. Great defense by the Sixers. Mike Brown taking it up. Takes it all the way. Gets the 2. And there we go. The Sixers with the 1-point lead again. Right into Cycli, who bricks it. And we got a foul on Timmy Hardaway. You can see Randy's face on the video. He is having to play his mind out just to stay with DPS. Oh, Takes it inside, outside, probably waiting for the last shot. Barkley circling around, looking for a lane or an open man. There we go. And the dunk. Steve Smith, DPS, probably needs to call a timeout here. He's got 3 seconds. Let's see what it... No, he just inbounds it to Hawkins from the top. And it's in. What a shot. What a play. That was huge. Up by 4. It's a couple possession game. He can make it 3 possessions if he scores here. Right from the top, Hawkins. And it's good. Another rattler. Up by 7. Nice angle. Barkley for the quick 2. Sixers up by 5. And again, Barkley is on the Heat, not the Sixers. Little confusing, but Barkley was the Heat's first draft picks. Hawkins from the spot. Oh, it's out. Good rebound by the Heat. Barkley pushes it up the court. Barkley can't quite get the angle. Steve Smith with the dunk. Sixers still up by 3. Takes the shot. It's blocked. Huge block by Barkley. Barkley just too fast. Has jumping ability. And the dunk. 4 quick points for the Heat. Mike Brown takes it for the dunk. 3-point game. Just about 3 minutes left. Taking the angle. And we got the cutscene for Charles Barkley. One of those beautiful Tecmo cutscenes. And Randy is able to cut off the shot, but the Sixers go right back down to the low post. Reggie Lewis puts in the 2. And now DPS manning Reggie Lewis on defense. Steve Smith just skies over the entire team. 2.5 minutes left in regulation. Oh! Hersey Hawkins just leaps and skies over Charles Barkley. Keith Askins, contested shot, but it's in. Askins brings it within 1. Both teams have been moving the ball very well, have been protecting. We got a missed shot, and then the putback hook shot by Johnny Dawkins. Nice cutscene to Barkley. And back to Barkley, give and go. Launches, but a nice foul by Dawkins. Free throws are not difficult to make, but he misses it. Oh my goodness. I don't know what's wrong, but I don't imagine Randy misses many free throws. And we got a goaltending. What could have been a good block is called goaltending. But then Barkley, with the quick score, cuts it to 2. Knocked out of bounds, almost a steal. Mike Brown inside to Dawkins. It goes out of bounds, but it remains 76ers ball. Not too much time left. He's got to get a shot off. It's blocked. Askins to Cycli to Barkley. And the Heat have it's tied. 67 all. David Benoit getting involved again. Hawkins was not open. Brown low post. We've got a Hawkins from the corner. It's good. Huge 3-pointer for Hawkins. 1 minute left. Barkley, it's blocked. Hawkins gets back on defense. Makes a 3. Gets back and contests it. Steve Smith dunks it home. Heat down by 1. David Benoit sees a man open. But he passes it up. Hawkins takes that one. Hand in his face. It's good. Looks like it was a 2-pointer, though. And a huge steal. David Benoit racing down the court. And we have the Sixers up by 5. DPS 30 seconds away from taking game 1. Sixers feel like they need a 3. Line it up. Steve Smith. And it's good. No, it's Cycli. Heat need a turnover. DPS can play last possession. All he has to do is not turn it over, and he should come away with the victory. And he rattles it in. There's the dagger. This is going to be tough. They need a really quick score. And there it is, 4 seconds. Can they hold on? 3-2-1, and an amazing first game of this series. Philadelphia gets the win 76-75. Congrats on DPS getting that first dub. 8 for 13 on 3-point shooting. Very good. And just a well-played game. For some reason, the Heat were only... It says 1 for 5 on free throws. I don't think that's accurate. I think it was 1 for 2. And that free throw proved to be critical. So DPS needs to beat Randy one more time to advance to the Eastern Finals. And we'll see how that goes. As we take a look at the stats from Game 1 for the 76ers, Hersey Hoggins, huge game. Just like when he played the Bucks in the regular season. Not that that game was important, but I experienced that firsthand. Hawkins shooting lights out from the three-point line, 8 for 12. Getting 24 of his points from beyond the arc, 32 total. Johnny Dawkins, definitely solid, 16 points. Very good passing overall, I thought, from DPS. Mike Brown and David Benoit, even if they didn't show up on the stats sheet as just, just taking over, they still were effective using speed and passing. Looks like Randy might have made a change there, putting Smith at point guard, Hardaway at shooting guard. And we are about to start game 2 here. Sixers versus Heat. The series is 1-0 in favor of DPS's Sixers. And again, we have... we got a steal. Again, we have the Heat in red. I'm sorry, we have the 76ers in red and the Heat in white. We've got a dunk by Steve Smith. Something that Randy is so good at is knowing when the player will begin the dunk animation. Once the player has begun the dunk animation, it's a very high percent that they will finish the job. Hawkins does his thing, rails the three. So the key is to know when the player will, like right there, Keith Askins with the dunk animation. The key is to know when the player will begin the dunk versus just putting up a shot, because a shot can get blocked, and shots also have a lower percent chance of falling through. Ooh, and right before the Heat can shoot the layup, and a contested shot, but it's in for Timmy Hardaway. David Benoit to Mike Brown, and he is cut off by Cycli on the low block. And there we go. David Benoit dunks it home. Sixers up 9-6. Nice shake and bake by Barkley. He's got that speed. He's got the jumping ability. He can make it happen. Hawkins to Dawkins to Benoit. It's stolen, ripped away by Barkley, who Barkley was given the regular season MVP. Scores a lot of points. Also very, very effective on defense. Askins to Barkley to Cycli. Tim Hardaway getting involved. He's given the Sixers something else to think about on defense. Ooh, big foul by Timmy Hardaway. Hardaway kind of using that back door. And right under the hoop, Hersey Hawkins. He can do it outside. He can do it inside. Hardaway thinking about the three. Sees Cycling down below. Feeds him for the two. David Benoit gets his angle cut off, not quite fast enough. Mike Brown up top to Hawkins. He lets it rip, and it's good. That will be a huge factor in this game. If Hawkins can shoot lights out like he did in Game 1, it will be tough sledding for the Heat. But if he is not true, then it's kind of like a turnover because Randy is so good at rebounding and not giving you second chances. And then the quick counter by Barkley, but Lewis goes right back. And we got a tie game, 16-16. Ronnie Cycli with the big dunk. Sixers moving the ball around. David Benoit to Hawkins. Hawkins is open. He lets it rip, and it's good. Great ball movement by DPS. Living and dying by the three. Hardaway lays it in. Little teardrop. Nice work between him and Cycli. Reggie Lewis to Hawkins. Slapped out of bounds by the Heat. We've got 5 seconds left in the quarter. And it's a big make. I thought he was going to miss it for a second. That ball seemed to hang forever. 1 second. Not quite sure if it's enough time. It is not. Ronnie Cycli misses. So great. Oh, barely stays in bounds. I was about to say great possession by DPS to score and leave no time on the clock, but then turns it over at the beginning of the second period. Hawkins to Benoit. Under the hoop. We've got another back and forth battle. Charles Barkley using that speed, finding the angle, dunks it home. Sixers kind of have their front court and back court flopped a little bit. Oh, and it's out on the Sixers. He take a 3-point lead. Cycli trying to get his hand on the ball. Dawkins inside, outside. Under the hoop, Johnny Dawkins. Charles Barkley. Oh, and it's ripped away. David Benoit using speed, but Barkley is fast enough to cut off the angle. Hawkins from the corner, curse splash. And the Sixers take the lead back. And it's ripped away. Mike Brown to David Benoit. Nice little move. Fakes out Barkley. And we got a 4-point lead for the Sixers. I see David Benoit trying to get the steal. Looks like he got the rebound, but it was stolen right away to Tim Hardaway from the top block. David Benoit shakes and bakes. Nice move. DPS is using the speed, and agility is not really an attribute in this game. It's just really speed, but using the speed of David Benoit to find good angles and dunk it home. Got Barkley setting up the play. We got a hook shot. Steve Smith is good. I feel like Randy gets the most out of guys like Steve Smith, who, he wasn't drafted. He's an original Heat player, but he definitely plays decent in the hands of Randy. And give and go to Barkley under the hoop. Sixers up by 2. Dawkins give and go. Oh, but he misses the lay-in. Steve Smith pushes it up the court to Barkley, and he dunks on the Sixers, his old team. We get a tie game at 34. Lewis to Hawkins. to Dawkins, to Brown, to Benoit. Oh, he takes the shot himself, and it's good. David Benoit with the pull-up three. But Keith Askins, another kind of humdrum player on the ratings who Randy really gets a lot of mileage out of. Charles Barkley, just, it's so tough to defend those quick plays like that. Brown and Hawkins. There we go. Hawkins from the corner. It's good. Big shot by Hersey Hawkins, who's having himself a game. Having himself a series, really. As is Charles Barkley. Brown to Benoit. DPS likes to set up his play from that bottom third there. 10 seconds left in the half. Barkley trying to use all the time inside. Oh, at a nice angle. 1 second left, and that's how you do it. And 1 second, not enough time to get a shot off. Great first half. The Heat again shooting incredibly, 91%. But the Sixers not far behind with 82.5%. And a sizzling 6 for 7 on 3-point shooting. This is some extremely good, high-level Tecmo NBA basketball. David Benoit. In and out. Barkley having a huge game. Really working the fast break. David Benoit thought about the three, but goes across the court to Hawkins. 5-point lead by the Sixers. Give and go. DPS did not want to give up the potential three. And the Heat get open, back door. Hawkins thinks about the shot. Kicks it back out to Benoit. To Hawkins, contested, curse splash. Hersey Hawkins shooting out of his mind the series. I wonder if he'll be a top draft pick in season 3. On paper, Hawkins looks good, but again, he was not stolen by another team. But since the next season is essentially 5 rounds of drafting, I'm absolutely certain he'll get taken. Hawkins to Brown, and it's good. Brown getting on the board. And we've got a 6-point lead for the Sixers. Knocked out of bounds. Barkley to Hardaway. Into Smith for the 2. 6-point lead for the Sixers. Hawkins and Dawkins to Brown. Inside. Oh, Johnny Dawkins with a big miss, but the Sixers get the ball back. Working it around, Dawkins. Reggie Lewis with the miss. Couldn't quite find the spot. And Ronnie Cycli punches it home. Heat within 4. A couple minutes left in the third period. Johnny Dawkins. Oh, and it goes out of bounds. Unlucky. Looked like the guy was open. Could have potentially made a 3-pointer. Amazing steal by the Sixers. Hawkins dribbles it to the arc. Mike Brown taking it down below. We got Hawkins is open. In and out burger. Sixers pushing up the court. Charles Barkley to Cycli to Smith. Nice triangulation. Heat scrappy right there. Back within 2. And a nice give and go. Benoit on the board. To Charles Barkley with the quick strike. That just took a couple seconds. So tough to defend. Mike Brown gets fouled, shoved out of bounds by Ronnie Cycli. Give him a technical. Mike Brown looking for an open man. They'll have to shoot soon. And there is the shot. Hawkins in and out. So tough when those don't fall, but so deadly when they do. Barkley to Smith, back to Barkley, and he dunks from a mile away. And with some really tough work, the Heat tie it up. And a nice dunk by Mike Brown, launching himself over Charles Barkley. Steve Smith looking to set up the play, passes it out of bounds. Randy is upset. Huge turnover. Sixers up by 2, can wait for the last shot of the quarter. And there he is, Hawkins from the corner, splash. 5-point lead by the Sixers, but Smith just stuffs up and rails. 4 seconds left in the period. Sixers from the corner, and it's out. That would have been devastating. Just a 2-point game as we go into the fourth period. Dawkins trying to steal it from Barkley, but can't slap it away. A big steal by Barkley. The league MVP of the regular season goes coast to coast into Tim Hardaway. We haven't seen him on offense in a little while, and the Heat take the lead. DPS has been leading most of the game, I believe. Oh, a nice move by Reggie Lewis. Takes him inside. We're tied up. Charles Barkley, coast to coast. He's just too quick for David Benoit. And a big steal. Barkley gets it right back to Cycli, to Smith. To Smith from the top block. Up by 4. The Heat, with their biggest lead of the game as far as I can tell. Dawkins inside, and it's a big miss. That is tough. 3 minutes left in regulation. Heat up by 4. Cycli finds Smith. The quick passing makes it so tough to get the hand on the ball and get a steal. Benoit to Hawkins. It's contested. It's in and out. And Barkley rushes up the court, splits the defenders. The Heat with a big lead, up by 8, and we got a backcourt violation. Very unfortunate. Sometimes those little cheap turnovers happen, but very untimely for the Sixers. The Heat continue to crank up the score. Benoit doing what he can, puts in the 2. Keith Askins trying to set up the play. Askins backdoor. It's rejected. Johnny Dawkins pushes it up the court. Contested, but Hawkins gets it in there with a little drippy drip drop. Cycli backdoor is wide open. And the Heat can score so quickly. Hawkins thought about it, but he was double guarded. There we go. Hawkins from the corner. And a big shot by the Sixers. They needed that one. And Barkley just races by. So quick. And he's so good with the ball. Hawkins again, in and out. Big miss for the Sixers. 7-point lead. Now it's 9. Barkley just continues the onslaught. He's got to have about 50 points at this point, honestly. Steve Smith. And we've got the full court press for a minute. 11-point game. David Benoit. Despite it being a 10-point lead, the Sixers have done well to score almost 75 points against a very good Heat team. Well, very good in the hands of Randy. So nothing to be ashamed of here, but Barkley just was able to take over. Hawkins wasn't able to stay hot the entire game. Missed a couple shots in the fourth. And this one is winding down. Hardaway in the paint. 11-point lead for the Heat. Hawkins to Dawkins, and he puts in the 2. it's kind of because we do stat tracking for the season, it is kind of fun to continue and play out the game to kind of like not so much pad your stats, but give your guys a shot at having a memorable run. Keith Askins on the board, 91-80. Benoit to Hawkins and Splash, and that's a wrap. Game 2 goes to the Heat. Randy continuing to shoot amazingly. A lot of those were dunks, but shooting 92%, just incredibly difficult to keep up with. And the Sixers still shooting well, 75%, but we're a couple threes short of making this even closer. Barkley, I thought he would have had about 50, but he has 42, very respectable. And everyone else chipping in, including Cycli. So overall, a very good game. Hersey Hawkins, another huge game. Still shot well from three-pointers despite missing some late. David Benoit, 10 for 10. Very exciting game, and we will see how things go for Game 3. '76ers playing well. It's hard to score 90 points against a Randy-led Miami Heat. Especially when Barkley's putting up 42 points. We've got a really quick strike, fast break. And so here's the tiebreaker. DPS taking game 1, Randy taking game 2. And the tip-off, we've got the Heat with the ball first. I apologize. It is the Sixers with the ball first. And Mike Brown gets the first 2 points for the Sixers. Ooh, nice contested shot, but Timmy Hardaway is able to get it over. The elite players find a way to not get their shots blocked. I get a lot of my shots blocked because I'm a noob. Hersey Hawkins, Splash, looked like there were a few bodies up there, but not enough. Tim Hardaway thinking about it, thinking about the play, waiting for a man to move. Takes it from the corner, Splash. He thought about it good and hard, and he railed. And Benoit with the power move inside. Charles Barkley doing his thing. So tough to knock the ball away from him. You almost got to commit to just putting a body in front of him. And Cycli dunks on 2 76ers. David Benoit from the corner. Give and go. Benoit on the board. Sixers up by 2. And out of bounds. Big turnover. Got to capitalize off those turnovers because Randy does not give it up very often. Ooh, slapped out of bounds. Sixers will have a few more seconds of possession. Ooh, contested shot, Reggie Lewis with the hook. Charles Barkley just looking like he's on nitros. Just blazing. David Benoit from the corner gets double teamed to Hersey Hawkins in the corner. He's open and he is good for it. Hawkins looking to get the series MVP. Little teardrop missed by Hardaway, but it's stolen right back. Looked like the Sixers had the rebound, but Hardaway ended up with it. Hawkins from the corner, Splash. DPS finding that spot early finding it often. Hardaway with the give and go. Looks like he missed it, though. It's actually too quick. I couldn't tell. Mike Brown to Benoit to Brown. Time running out. And he just has to put up a shot, and it's a doinker. A great team defense by the 76ers. And Barkley finds the angle, dunks from the corner. Brings it within 4. Mike Brown able to beat the whole Heat team. Full court pass. Heat working that baseline as you do. Ronnie Cycli misses, gets his own rebound, kicks it back out to Askins. Askins to Cycli to Barkley. Does a couple circles. Knocks it in. Charles Barkley right before the end of the first quarter. Hardaway misses it. Rebound by Reggie Lewis. Contested, and there's the block. Hawkins misses the second one. Big defensive stand by the Heat. Hardaway up from the top, but gives it up to Barkley. And that is a really tough duo to stop close to the rim, Hardaway and Barkley. And just ripped away by Tim Hardaway. Takes it to the corner, puts up the shot, and it's missed. Rebounded by the Sixers, knocked out of bounds, and it will remain Sixers ball. Dawkins sees Brown. Back to Dawkins, give and go. Sixers up by 4. Barkley with the give and go. Finds the angle, uses that speed. Mike Brown triple guarded. Kicks it out to Benoit. Someone's got to be open at that point. Give and go. Benoit backdoor Randy. You can see frustrated. Thought maybe he had played better defense, but Benoit he's got the attributes. He is tough to stop sometimes. Pops it in there. Hardaway. Another miss. David Benoit tries to find the angle. Can't quite get it. Nice cutoff by the Heat. Down below, Benoit. In and out. Heat have it back. Tim Hardaway up to Askins and back into Hardaway for the 2. Benoit inside outside. There we go. Splits the defender. David Benoit making it worth his draft pick selection. Keith Askins scores quickly. Lewis triple guarded. Someone has to be open. Mike Brown finds Hawkins. There are bodies in front, and it's missed. Rebounded by Barkley. He goes coast to coast, in and out, and that'll tie it up. Reggie Lewis, bottom of the court. 1 minute left in the first half in this tie-breaking Game 3. Cycli, shot clock violation. Amazing team defense by the Heat. And they get the turnover. Tim Hardaway in and out to Cycli. Cycli's got bodies in front of him. Barkley to Hardaway. Goaltending. Those are tough. Sometimes they're clean, sometimes they're not. Hawkins with the lay-in. It's in and out, but he gets his own rebound. And the damage is mitigated, and it is tied up. 30 seconds left in the first half. Cycli finds Askins back door. Sometimes the Heat can do it without their superstars. Oh, Brown, another turnover. Critical. Barkley looked like he had it, but he's going to take the last shot. Ripping around, looking for something to happen. Back and forth. And there's Timmy Hardaway with the last shot, and he misses it. Miami retains a 2-point lead, only 66% shooting, which is quite low for Randy. Both teams rebounding well, not giving too many second chances. Steve Smith scores quickly to start the second half. Hawkins not getting open quite as often as he was in the first half. I guess Randy's figuring out a way to put a body in front of him. But there's Reggie, but it's in and out. He is not as automatic as Hersey Hawkins. Askins to Hardaway. And another goaltending. DPS is getting his hand on the ball, so I would consider that decent defense, if not very good defense. But the referees aren't seeing it that way. Mike Brown with a tough shot. It goes in. Mike Brown considered a top 10 center in this game. Thus, he was stolen from the Jazz's bench, just like David Benoit was. Steve Smith makes it an 8-point game. Benoit with a quick score. Cycling, it's stolen. Got to be careful about dribbling too much with those centers. Brown to Lewis, setting it up. Dawkins, Benoit Brown. Hawkins from the corner. It's blocked. I was about to say contested. It was more than that. And there we go. A steal leads to 2 points. But Cycling gets those right back. Big dunk by the Grecian sensation. Mike Brown getting on the board. Keith Askins pushing it up the court, pulls it back out. The quick passing makes it so tough to defend. You can't get a good hand on the ball.